Tractate Tevul General Introduction. When a person or a utensil who is Tame immerses himself in a mikvah, his tuma is mostly removed. However, a small residue of the tuma does not depart until nightfall after the immersion, when he becomes completely tahor. During the period between immersion and nightfall, the person is known as Tevul, which literally means one who has immersed that day. This tractate discusses the laws that apply to one who is a Tevul. The tuma status of a Tevul. Although generally a person whose tame will either be an avatuma or a rishon, a Tevul whose tuma has been mostly removed by his immersion is equivalent to a sheni in most respects. Therefore, like a sheni, his touch does not have any effect upon other people, utensils, or chulin foods. He may also eat meiser sheni and will not make it tame by touching it. However, he may not eat terumar kodashim until he becomes completely tahor at nightfall, and he renders terumar kodashim unfit, pasul, by touching them. See further below. He is also forbidden to enter the Beis Hamikdash until he becomes completely tahor. Teruma or kodashim touched by a Tevul. Since a Tevul has the status of a sheni, it should follow that if he touches teruma or kodashim, the teruma or kodashim should become tamei as a shlishi, which would have the ability to make other kodashim that it touches become a tamei as a revi. For kodashim has the ability to become tamei even on the level of revi. See Appendix Laws of Tuma. This is indeed the view of the Tana Rebbe Meir. See Para, Chapter 11, Mishnah 4, and Me'ila, Gemara, Me'ila 8a and b, which is followed in several Mishnahs in this tractate. See Chapter 2, Mishnah 1, Chapter 3, Mishnah 6. However, the prevailing view is that of the sages. See Para, Chapter 11, Mishnah 5, and Me'ila, Chapter 2, Mishnah 1, who hold that when a Tevul touches either terumar kodashim, they become pasul, unfit, that is, they themselves are tamei, but they are unable to make anything else tamei. Thus, while terumah touched by a Tevul becomes a shlishi, it cannot make other kodashim into a revi, and kodashim touched by a Tevul is rendered a revi, which also cannot make anything else tamei. This view is also found in many of the Mishnahs of this tractate. Leniencies that apply to the tumah of a Tevul. The sages issued many decrees in regard to matters of Tuma. In some instances, they did not extend those decrees to include a Tevul because the Tuma of a Tevul has been weakened by his immersion, and it is considered as if his Tuma is mostly departed. They instead allowed the biblical law to stand. Many of the Mishnahs of this tractate discuss cases where the weakened Tuma of the Tevul is a factor in the law. Some examples of the leniencies that apply to a Tevul are: 1. The sages decreed that liquids touched by a Rishon and Sheni become a Rishon by rabbinic decree. See Chapter 2, Mishnah 1 and Note 6. However, this does not apply to a liquid touched by a Tevul. Since his Tuma has mostly departed due to his immersion, the sages did not include him in the decree, and holy liquids that he touches remain tahor. See Chapter 2, Mishnah 1 and Para, Chapter 8, Mishnah 7. Number 2. When several items of turma are lying together at a tamei person, or item touches one of them, he makes only that item tamei. He is not considered to have touched them all. This is true, however, only if the items are not considered connected. If they are considered connected, they are viewed as one unit, and touching one of them will make them all tamei, or pasul if they are touched by a sheni. Many of the Mishnahs in the first 3 chapters of the tractate deal with the question of what types of physical contact, for example, 2 pieces of dough that have become stuck together, will make 2 items be considered connected. Some types of physical contact are deemed connected only on the rabbinic level, and in these cases too we find that the sages were more lenient in the case of the touch of a Tevul. 3. Generally, foods can become tamei only if they are considered fully edible. Foods that are not ordinarily eaten, that are eaten for medicinal purposes only, or that are used merely to enhance other foods, are biblically not considered food, and remain tahor even if touched by an avatuma. While some Tanaim are of the view that rabbinically such items are considered food if they would be eaten in difficult such items are considered food if they would be eaten in difficult circumstances. All agree that if they are turma and the Tevul touches them, the sages allowed the biblical law to stand, and they remain tahor. 4. If turma becomes mixed into chulin, and the ratio of chulin to turuma is less than 100:1, the entire mixture, called demua or meduma, must be treated as teruma by rabbinic decree, and a non-kohen is forbidden to eat it. In spite of this, if the demua mixture is touched by Tevul, it remains tahor. Since the law requiring us to treat demua as teruma is only rabbinic in nature, the sages were lenient regarding the weakened tuma of a Tevul Yom, and did not treat the mixture like teruma with regard to his touch. It therefore remains tahor and may be eaten by Kohanim.